Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Diversity in Dentistry Mentorships podcast, Beyond the Smile. But it's not quite a podcast. It's a huddle. We're here with dentists of color to share their stories of resilience, determination, leadership, everything they have that has made them be so successful. And they are back here sharing their secret game plan of success. And we are here. I am your host, Dr. Layla Haisha, the founder of Diversity in Dentistry Mentorships, on a mission to diversify and strengthen the pathway from middle school to dental school. And we have no other than the amazing, most inspiring, beautiful, brilliant Dr. Taylor Jackson here with us as a guest up in the huddle. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Haisha. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I was like, well, we missed each other at the NDA conference in Phoenix. And congratulations on being awarded one of the 40 under 40.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just want to give you a high five, big hugs when we see each other in person.
Absolutely.
But there's just so many things that you are doing that I align with. And that's why I had to have you here. I mean, of course, number one, you're gonna be a pediatric dentist. You're already in the process. You're like 1/4 of the way there, right?
Almost there.
You're there. Kids are dear to me as well, and that's why I went into the specialty. But of course, you're a mentor, you're an extraordinary servant leader, and of course, you give back to the community. So check everything that makes you amazing and aspiring to our up and coming dental students and specialists, and everyone who's going into oral health. So why don't you just give us a little background? I mean, I know that the gist of everything. Pediatric dentistry came from Meharry. I'm on a roll with our Meharrians here.
Yes.
But share your story.
Yes, absolutely. So I grew up in a military household, but it wasn't until about 15 years ago when I started calling Georgia my home. I'm also the eldest sibling, so that's why going into leadership roles, being involved, serving my community, that's more like second nature for me. As far as my educational background, I went to Fisk University for my undergraduate degree. Then I worked for a year at the front desk in a dental office. And then I went to Meharry for my 1-year master's in health sciences, and then moved on to the College of Dentistry, where I got my DDS. Then now I'm here at UIC, University of Illinois, Chicago, for my pediatric dental residency, where I do hope to get my certificate, but not hope to, but I will get my certificate, as well as my MPH and a master's in oral sciences.
Oh, wow. That's right. You've done a lot, but within that, I know there have been some stories. Would you say it's been an easy pathway, just like a straight?
Not at all. Not at all. It's been all over the place.
You've had some delays, some weather cancellations.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you got to the destination.
Yes, definitely. Not a straight path. I didn't know that it would take me 3 different cycles to get into dental school. So that was something, especially since I wanted to be a dentist ever since I was a toddler, because my pediatric dentist made an impact on me. So from there, I didn't know that I was going to be staying in Nashville for 10 years like I did, but I'm so happy that I did, and built the network and everything. So my path did not go as I expected, but if I could do it all over again, I would have that same type of journey to get to where I am today.
Yeah, I mean, it's what makes it worth it. Nothing easy or worth it is easy for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also I learned too from your presence on social media. And of course, I didn't mention that you're a host of the Occlusal Table Podcast. I definitely want you to touch on that. But I saw just how important your cohort, the Meharry Blueprint class,
yes,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, we know community is so important, but you guys were pretty tight knit.
Yes, absolutely. So there were about 60 of us that started off, and that was in 2018. So hard to believe that it feels so long ago,
Right.
even though it was only 4 years ago. And because we're there all day, every day in the lab, late night, always going out with each other, celebrating each other, during our orientation time as freshmen, we choose a scrub color. And that's the color that we have throughout all the 4 years. So I rarely wear my navy blue scrubs because I've worn it for so long. But we all voted on navy blue. And to build even more camaraderie, we vote on a class name. And that's just the culture that we have at Meharry. So with the navy blue scrubs, we then came up with the class name, the Blueprint. And from there, we just carried that on, made different sweatshirts, different jackets. We even, just to carry on with that, we, on the 22nd of every single month, we have a Zoom call with each other just to check in and everything since we graduated in 2022. Yep. So, yeah, just to check in with each other. Not all 60 of us join on, of course, but it's just something just every month, just a nice monthly check-in. Some people may just come on the call, say hi, and then they leave, but at least we can see their face and hear their voice. So, yeah.
That's great. I think it's so important too now, because sometimes when we're in it, in the thick of things, especially with you in a residency, and you have those tough days.
Yes.
There's nothing like, because if you come home and you have a partner or a spouse, or even your friend or your mother or your father, they don't quite understand how the day is and what's in the life of a dentist and can't quite relate. So it's great to be able to share that with just your friends who get it and understand. And you realize you're not alone in this. Like, I remember, I'm changing my major, and I've been practicing 10 years at the time. Now 20 years, I'm still like, these kids are mean to me.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, kids are a trip.
Yeah, they say the darndest things, but
they do.
Yeah. I know we have a few dental students on and are interested in pediatric dentistry and want to get your advice on when did you decide? I think you were saying when you were young, you knew you wanted to be a pediatric dentist, but was it solidified when you started rotations? Tell us about that. And then, of course, if you can kind of tell us, when did you start applying or preparing yourself for the application?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was when I was a toddler that I knew I wanted to be a dentist. Not exactly that I wanted to be a pediatric dentist and specialize just yet. I just knew that whenever I would drive by the dental office when I was young, I always wanted to stop by and say hi. I loved going. I loved when my teeth were cleaned, just the educational experience behind it and why I should keep my teeth clean. I just absolutely loved that. So that's why I knew I wanted to be a dentist. In high school and in college, I shadowed during the summer times in different dental offices, different specialties, and general dentists. Something that was an important piece of advice when I was in college and preparing for my application, someone from admissions said, "Hey, I see all of these specialties on here, ortho, oral surgery, endo. That's great, but you need more general dentist shadowing because before you can specialize, you will be a general dentist." And I was like, good point. So I shadowed more general dentists for sure when I was in college, just to at least wrap my mind around what to expect after dental school or even in dental school. So helping with flipping some of the chairs, shadowing some of those big procedures and those big cases, getting myself familiar with the instruments and why it's important to sterilize certain things and why not to sterilize other things. So just really getting some of those basics down is what I did as far as a shadowing experience. As far as preparing my application for dental school, I think that being involved was my biggest strong suit. I was actually involved in 14 different organizations. I probably wouldn't recommend that. I kind of went a little bit overboard with that being in college.
Very
but I absolutely loved being in leadership and serving the community. So there is an after-school program with middle school and high school kids that was on the Fisk University campus. And from there, I just consistently worked with them, mentoring them, helping them with their homework. Just to do something outside of dentistry. I think that was one of the strong points that was on my CV was working in, areas outside of the dental realm is what helped strengthen me as a better applicant. So I think really starting to prepare my application really my first year of college, building that CV, getting in touch with different dentists in my local area. That was something that really helped me along the way.
Wow. Yeah. And that dentist probably served as a mentor to you. And once you build that relationship, I don't know if they did, but it would make sense that they probably wrote a recommendation for you as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Relationships are so important. Building those mentors are very important.
And they need to know you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. If you want a stellar letter of recommendation that's going to stand out, they need to know. You can't just like, here's my CV and will you write this for me? It's just, it won't come off the same. So,
absolutely.
And all that leadership. I mean, let's talk about all that you did. And know, you did programs throughout dental school. And of course, you started the podcast like your first year. And then during COVID, you had an outreach program. I mean, there's just so much. I don't know where to start. So let's start with the leadership, because as a leader, you implemented these programs.
Yes, absolutely. So to make a 180 really from undergrad, where I was involved in 14 different organizations, and I didn't really, I'll be honest, I didn't make much of an impact because I was spread so thin. On the opposite end in dental school, I was involved in fewer organizations, but I held larger positions, made a larger impact. So that was something that was a difference between my leadership experience in undergrad versus dental school. So in dental school, one of those things, being involved in ASDA, the American Student Dental Association. And that was when I actually became Meharry Chapter president. And with that, as president-elect, I started a business dental symposium. And that's now held annually every single year, even after me being gone. So it's so nice to even join back on.
Your legacy is already happening.
Yes, absolutely. So it's been about 4 years. We just had our 4th annual one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So that's really nice. It's really nice to look back and see that something that I started at Meharry is still going on. Also being president during that COVID year, we started an outreach as well. And that was with putting together these dental packets and dropping that off at different high schools, middle schools, and different senior citizen homes as well, just to still serve the community and be safe at a distance. And also serving at a national leadership position with SNDA. And that was where I was the SNDA liaison to the NDA Board of Trustees. So that's how I know Miss Levette. On top of knowing so many other NDA mentors that I still keep in touch with today. So I'm an active member in the NDA now, even at in the new dentist committee. So that's something that helped build that relationship and everything now. So.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. And if I could just make sure everyone understands, because you made a very good point, Dr. Jackson, it's not about being the quantity, it's the quality of the leadership you're serving.
Absolutely.
Admissions committees, they see that, you can say you're doing this and doing that, but like, what are you actually giving of yourself and creating and, just developing? So, and what your true passion is. I mean, that comes off what is authentic and what's not authentic. That's true to you. So I think that's fantastic. But I want to open up our huddle and if you guys, anyone who wants to ask a question of Dr. Jackson, just come off mute, or if you want to put it in the chat. But it'd be better if you come off mute. Who wants to go first? Let's see. see if there's anything in. Well, yeah, we answered that question great about preparing for the residency. And now, why don't we talk a little bit about interviews? How would you, and then I see Levette's hand up, and then we'll go ahead and answer that. I'll put a pin in that question. Go ahead, Ms. Henderson.
Hello, everybody. And I just wanted to say that I am so proud of Dr. Jackson, but I would like for you to share with the group, how did you balance your leadership and giving to the community and your studies, just so some of the other pre-dental students can get an idea?
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Yes. Great question. Great question. Thank you so much, Ms. Levette. And I think with balance, I'll be completely honest. I think in every single season of life, I'm still trying to find that balance. I can't use the same type of strategies that I've used before in implementing that now. I think in dental school, I had a routine. I woke up super early at 4 a.m., went to the gym, came back home, showered, stayed at school from 8 to 5, actually stayed even longer to study or work on lab work from 5 until about dinner time. And then that's when I went home, wind down for the day just to start that all over again. I think that was what helped a lot for me in dental school, staying at school and working on that. But I'm making a different type of work-life balance now in residency, where I am changing up my schedule a little bit, where I do work out some days. Some days I go out with my co-residents and utilizing that self-care in different aspects. But I think in dental school for sure was making a routine where if I missed anything in that type of day, it did make me just a little bit out of whack, but I was still able to jump right back on that horse and keep on moving. There were some days I did sleep in and I didn't go to the gym at 5 a.m. And that was still fine. But at the same time, I know that I needed to for sure implement working out. I needed to for sure implement doing meal prepping on the weekends. Because I'll admit, in dental school, my first semester, I probably worked out maybe 4 times in that one semester. And that was because I didn't know how to juggle everything. I didn't know how to juggle being in class from 8 to 5 and handling my studies and making sure I ate right and still having that self-care. So something that I always say, and I say it to my co-residents as well, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I really learned that lesson my first semester of dental school, because I was trying to go to class and do all of these things and study and prepare for this exam and being in the cadaver lab until it closed at 8 p.m. It was a lot that I was trying to juggle, and I was truly burning out. And I would look in the mirror and not even recognize myself. And it was there where I was like, okay, second semester of dental school, we're going to do a little bit better. We're going to implement working out every morning. And from there, I could see better results.
Yeah. Did you have like an accountability partner, someone to kind of keep you on track as far as making sure you're getting enough rest or studying together? I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that was the power of the blueprint. And because we could look at each other and say, hey, I could see that you're not having a good day. Talk to me. We would do the Apple Watch challenges on our watch, or having like a group text for the people who worked out early in the day. And there was a group text for people that worked out later on in the day as well. So it was that kind of accountability within the class that we had. And I still talk with them today, even where we're like, hey, I know we're in residency, but have you worked out this week? Did you eat your vegetables this week? Yeah. So it's things like that where I do value our family type of relationship that we did have back at Meharry.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. So balance, and I'm sure working on boundaries too.
Yes. Absolutely. Boundaries is so important.
Yeah. And as you move along in the dental journey, you get a residency or in your practice, especially in practice, establishing those boundaries between your team and patients, I have stories after 20 years. There was a question here. Did you do any externships while in dental school? If so, how'd you go about applying?
Yes. So I technically did only one in person, and that was because it was in the height of COVID. So that was one in-person externship, and that was at UIC right here. So it was nice to have that experience. But also during the height of COVID, they had a ton of virtual externships. So I didn't start looking into externships until the spring of my third year. And that was because I wanted to make sure that my name was on the forefront of program directors' minds and different programs' minds and the residents' minds, instead of having it too early. So with having a lot of the virtual externships, I took advantage of those. And I probably did maybe about 15 virtual externships, which is probably a lot. But since things were virtual and it was a Zoom call, I wanted to take advantage of it so that I was listening to what some of the other applicants were asking, listening to what some other programs were expecting of their residents, because that was how I formed a lot of questions to ask the programs that I interviewed at. Because there were some things I didn't even think about. You know, I didn't think about the importance of commuting or getting a lunch stipend at different programs, or if some programs did community service. So there were some different things where I definitely didn't take into consideration. But I didn't know to ask those things until I sat in on those virtual externships. So I was also listening to some of the repeated questions that were asked too, because it's like, okay, if programs are always getting asked, what do you look for in a future resident? Then it's like, okay, I know I'm not going to show up at an externship and really ask that question, because I know they're getting that question a lot.
Yes. Amazing. Yeah. Oh, that's so important.
Yeah.
And not to, did you have more? I didn't want to step on your
well, I guess just for the externships though, just as far as how to look for different applications, at least for pediatrics, as the only one I could speak on, but on the AAPD website, they do have a list of all the residency programs. You can click on there, and then residency programs update that with their website. And then that's where you can click on those links and see if programs are doing an in-person or a virtual type of externship, and you can apply at that point.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And since we do have a lot of dental students here, I wanted to piggyback on when you were talking about interviewing and the questions to ask, because really when you're at that stage and you're applying for residencies, the interview process is much different than your interview during dental school. It's a small group. You interview with, faculty, but also you're kind of being interviewed by the residents who are there, the second years or third year, depending on what program you're in. And you've already proved yourself to make it to that level to get an interview, right? So they're not going to go and ask you all these things about didactics and whatnot. They know your CV. They are interviewing to see if you're going to fit well in their group. Now, as a woman of color and, students of color that where our audience is, that sense of belonging can be challenging at times if you can feel that the culture is not there. So we just don't want anyone to feel intimidated when they're going to that interview, but you have to go in there and show that, yes, you belong and you would be a great asset to the program. Any tips about, or just remembering your experience in interviewing, what really stood out?
Yes, absolutely. So just like you're being interviewed, you're also interviewing the program. I'm sure people have stated that before as well, but that's so important because yes, the best program is the one that you match into. I will say that, but also you want to make sure that you enjoy where you are. When putting together that rank list, because you don't want to apply to a certain location and you're not going to enjoy being at that location. You don't want to apply to a program and let's say, you work better with a bigger crowd. Like here at UIC, in my class, we have 10 residents and there's a total of 20 residents in the entire program right now. But some people work better in a smaller crowd where they have 2 residents in the first year class, and then 2 in the next year class. For me, I knew I didn't want to apply to those types of programs because I didn't thrive well in those types of environments. So knowing where you thrive best, whether that's a hospital-based or combined or university-based, and also looking at the different sizes of the residence class, the location, whatever matters to you, and that's what you prioritize on the list, that's how you should look at your the schools that you should apply to as well. So navigating the interviews, all of my interviews are virtual. So I didn't have any types of in-person interview experiences. For UIC, they did give me the option of having an in-person or a virtual, but since I already went there for my in-person externship, they were like, hey, you've seen the place already and we know who you are. You have met us as well. Which one would you like? And that was how we moved for there. But for navigating the interviews, I think, I don't want to say getting a vibe for it, but just like what you said, knowing how you mesh well. Do you mesh with the program director? Do you mesh with the faculty? Even the dental assistants that are in there, talking with them. That's very important to talk with everyone there, not just the residents, not just the program director, talking with the faculty, talking with the staff, talking with the front desk even. You want to get, when you're there in person, talk with as many people as you can to get an overall judgment of that type of program, because anyone can put on their best self, but you really want to at least talk with someone to get a more well-rounded perspective of the program you're applying to.
Yeah. And then on the flip side of that, talking to everyone, they will talk afterwards. Like, oh,
yes, they will.
Yeah, think about her. I saw her talking to you, was she, they ask questions for sure. And in the next cycle, if you guys are going, when you go out to dinner with the residents, just stay sober.
Yeah.
You're still being don't have too much fun. But I have anyone here. I know I wanted to respect your time. Anyone else have any other questions? Because I did just want to just save a little bit of time for you to share after residency. I believe you're looking into going into academia and staying in organizational leadership. Oh, that's so fantastic. We need you.
Yes, absolutely. So that was in the basis of my personal statement. I said that I wanted to go forward into academia, public health, and organized dentistry. And I want to stay true to that. So, and I think I'm staying true to that even right now. Like I said, being a part of NDA in the new dentist committee, even being a part of AAPD in the resident committee. So I applied for that and I was selected. So I'm very thankful being a part of that. Also, going into academia, I can't wait for next year when we do get to teach in the undergrad clinic. So I can really get a feel for teaching what it was like for me when I was in those shoes. So I do see the teaching style is very different when teaching residents versus teaching those still in dental school. So, but yes, I do want to pursue those types of aspects upon graduating out of my residency program.
Oh, I can see in less than a couple of decades, we'll probably be calling you Dean Jackson.
Oh, man.
I see it. All right. I've already professed that's going to happen.
We'll see. We'll see.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Well, I know you've shared so much information for pre-dental students and dental students and empowering them and just giving resources on the Occlusal Table podcast. And so how would anyone, if they want to reach out to you, where can we connect with you?
Absolutely. Well, definitely on Instagram, where my personal Instagram is minimalist dentist. And also the podcast page is Occlusal Table Pod. So that's the quickest way just sending a DM. If you're a pre-dental student, dental student, if you're looking for mentorship in any type of aspects, I will for sure get back with you. So.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. And so I'll have to take my course with you because I don't have a cool fancy mic yet. Yeah.
No, yeah, no problem.
And I know you've been doing it a while, but you've been doing everything with excellence. We're just so proud, excited for you. I can't wait. Hopefully we'll see each other at AAPD meeting. Are you going to be there in Orlando?
Absolutely. I sure will.
That's great.
I made sure that I wasn't on call that weekend just to go.
Very good. Yeah, we'll go to Disney World together too. That'll be fun.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here, guys. I want to share a few things. Well, just a couple things. Of course, please like and subscribe our channel. And we're working to get everything onto a podcast so we can stream. This is a resource for you, for our students in STEM that are before college, pre-dental, youth, and middle and high school. We are here just to share these resources. We also have a little giveaway coming up for in the holiday spirit. We would love for you to continue to support diversity and dentistry mentorships. And one way you can do that is by electing to have it as your charity of choice on smile.amazon.com. So you're just shopping anyway, so you can just click that. And then we are giving away a $100 gift card, Amazon gift card on Christmas Eve. So there's some instructions on our Instagram. You know, I'm learning all this from you young folks on how to do this. Things. But we do it because we know this work is important, and we do it because we really feel we're going to elevate dentistry through mentorship, and we can't do this without a village. And I thank you for being a part of ours. So thank you everyone for joining. And you guys, if we did it, so can you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.